Hey guys, Scott here. So today I want to talk to you about Demogorgon and how his stonks are on the absolute rise, a meteoric rise, if you will. Basically, he's getting indirectly buffed by a bunch of different things. Demogorgon itself is not actually changing, but he's getting buffed by a bunch of different things. First off, there's the possibility that Stranger Things is actually coming back, which means the greatest buff of all is Demogorgon would re-exist again for the joy of new players to experience his majesty. But that's a relatively minor thing. One of the bigger things is that there are a lot of changes to the meta and changes to perks and things like that that make Demogorgon so much better at dealing with a lot of the things that survivors are going to be able to bring now. So the first thing that people are freaking out about is the endurance meta. How do you counter the endurance meta? Well, you have perks like Save the Best for Last. Save the Best for Last is like the biggest counter to the endurance meta ever. If people are giving me 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last within the first 2 minutes of the game because everyone's body blocking and shit like that, I am a happy demo. Now, who's the best Save the Best for Last user in the entire game? Is Demogorgon. He is the best Save the Best for Last user in the entire game. He's the only killer that can, no matter what, in basically every scenario, maintain or gain a stack whenever he wants. There are some killers that can come close to it, but Demogorgon is, I think, by far the best maintainer of Save the Best for Last stacks. So, if we have a meta where everybody is trying to body block over and over again, we have a scenario where you're going to get 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last really fast. Now, if you get 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last really fast, as you can have just seen there, you will have such a short cooldown, and this combines with the recent buff to Killer. So killers now have a 10% quicker recovery on their swing, so now that takes 2.7 seconds to recover. And also, survivors get 10% less distance overall because their speed burst lasts 0.2 seconds less. So it's a 10% reduction and a 10% increase. This results in a net difference of a 20%. So basically, survivors get about 4 or 5 seconds less of distance just holding forward. Now, previously, Demogorgon with 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last could hit you and just barely hit a shred if they ran straight and you had a fully charged shred ready to go and there was nothing in the way. But it was like just teetering out of range to where if they did anything really else, it would be not quite in range. However, with these changes, if you have even 7 stacks to Save the Best for Last now, you can swing and then immediately shred, and it's within the same distance. So now Demogorgon has sort of that Huntress ranged hatchet to melee combo where he can essentially instantly down somebody, and that is going to be terrifying. Now, the thing is, that's already pretty scary in live, which is why I think Demo is actually quite strong, but it's not always super easy to get 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last. But if everyone is running this body block shit and everyone is just throwing themselves at you, now obviously if it's the obsession, you would ignore him. But if the obsession is the only person body blocking, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because that means the obsession has to just essentially follow you around the entire game. So for the most part, this is just going to give you so many stacks to Save the Best for Last so quickly that Demo is going to be just significantly stronger. So Demogorgon counters the whole endurance meta quite a bit, and the buffs to Killer Recovery and the nerfs to Survivor Further Distance make it so he can now combo in a regular M1 into a charged shred, which is going to be extremely good for snowballing quickly as Demo, which is not something he was super good at. He was good at snowballing once he had max stacks, but even then, it was not always possible. But now with how quick you recover, 20% on top of already how quickly he would recover with 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last, combined with how quick Shred is, yeah, Demogorgon stonks are absolutely rising. A lot of aspects of him are getting indirectly buffed by changes to the game itself and a possible developing new meta. So that's why I'm not really scared of the endurance meta whatsoever. In fact, I'm all for it. I'm excited for it because to me, it means that I'm finally going to be able to get 8 stacks to Save the Best for Last like within a couple of minutes of the game starting. And that is always a good feeling. If you played any killer that runs this perk, you'll know why it's great. And it's another interesting thing about the whole endurance meta. People are going, okay, well, it's going to be the new meta now. Everyone's just going to run this perk instead of, Dead Hard or whatever. I'm just throwing examples there. I know Dead Hard causes it too, but people are like kind of complaining about a changing meta. First of all, that's a good thing. Second of all, there will always be a meta in a video game. You can't avoid that. That's literally what meta is. It's the most used tactics in the game to win at the most efficient way. So that's never not going to be the case. So there will always be a meta, and it changing to something else I think is good. And this whole game is based on getting a perk to counter the perk that the survivor or the killer has. it's not the best way a game could be designed. It's the classic Band-Aid way of being designed instead of having base game mechanics rectify these things. But that's how the game works. Perks battle each other. So now you have people bringing Off the Record, Dead Hard, and all these endurance perks. Now you bring Stay the Best for Last, Magret, Agitation. Like, you can easily counter this stuff. And as a avid user of Stay the Best for Last, I am very happy. And as a Demogorgon who is the best user of Stay the Best for Last, I am double happy. So that's why I might not be dreading this update as much as some of you guys. But I just wanted to share a bit of the excitement at least, because demo stonks are going up.